Nice. Look at that
Hey,
nice little
it's
graphic. Look at
me.
that shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
look at
leveling
us
up.
moving up. Hell yeah.
Leveling up. Yeah.
All right. So first card on the list was Zask, Skittering Swarmlord. Um, I enjoy this because I had like I had this idea of trying to build a commander around Grist at some point. But I don't know. I just didn't particularly, even though I like the fact that Grizz kind of bypasses the fact that it's a planeswalker by saying, like, whenever it's not on the battlefield, it's an insect. It's really cool. I don't know. I feel like I wanted something in the command zone that really just like spoke to me. Just said like, yes, I am cool insect lord. And with Zask, I feel like I finally got it. It's at a mana cost of 5, which I don't particularly enjoy. As like I've probably mentioned before, I prefer to keep my commanders under, like, 4 mana cost or under. But it's still a really cool, like, 5/5 insect that lets you play lands and insect spells from your graveyard, and it also mills you. So it gives you card advantage. So whenever an insect you control dies, you put it on the bottom of its owner's library, so it doesn't go to your graveyard, and you mill 2 cards. Um, I recently started playing with like the Warhammer commanders, so the concept of getting card advantage from your graveyard by like milling cards from the top of your library recently has been like something that I've grown like more like interested in, without taking it to the extent of, say, oh, what's Mr. Froggy's name?
The Gidrock monster.
Exactly. Not without taking it to the extent of Gitrog, but still feel like I have like good card advantage. I think Zask is pretty cool for that. And then on top of that, he has his mana ability. Oh, you're actually blocking. Like, I can't read it now, John. How dare you? So he has like his mana ability, and it gives insects +1/+0 and death touch to actually target insect get +1/+0 and death touch until the end of the turn, which is always like super super huge thing. Give your stuff death touch, right? Tragic Slip. This one I did because of the art and the flavor text. It was automatically very reminiscent of the famed Umbrella scene. I shouldn't even have to say where it's from, but to those who might not know, check out Another. It's a really really fun anime if you're like into like weird like horror tropes and stuff. It was reminiscent of that when I initially saw it. And the cool part about it is like I like the flavor text that says, she never guessed that her last word would be oops, like oops. Mizzix Replica Rider. This is also another new card we're getting in the set. It's a legendary creature, Goblin Wizard. Of course, I always have to go back to go back to Goblin. I don't go back to Monkey. I go back to Goblin every single time. It's a 4/5 flyer because, of course, the Goblin is riding a dragon, like replica dragon mech, if you want to call it that. And then whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, you may pay 1 and either a blue or red. So it's like we're getting like the mixed mana symbols back in the Jumpstart set. If you do copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy, and if the copy is a permanent spell, it gains haste, and at the beginning of your end step, sacrifice this permanent. Reason why I chose this, I mean, it copies things. For starters, as you all know, I am a big fan of extra turn spells. The prospect of not just being able to copy my extra turn spells, but being able to copy like any permanents that do, I don't know, just something absolutely ridiculous on the battlefield, this is just great. It allows me to do both things, which I'm a really big fan of, like being able to do just everything in a deck, which always tends to be like a weakness in my deck building a lot of times. And I feel like Mizzix actually, in this case, allows me to kind of do everything. So who knows? Let's see how that goes. Eidolon of Rhetoric with its cool new anime art. The stacks pieces are freaking great. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. There's not a lot to say about it. It just has great art, and it's a card that I enjoy because it's just an really annoying stacks piece. Alandra the Sky Dreamer, another new card, another potential commander. It's in a weird spot in between being a worse Talrand, but also just kind of, I don't know, just like a version of Talrand that has the potential of actually finishing off the board. Because it says whenever you draw your second spell each turn, whenever you draw your second card each turn, in contrast to Talrand's, whenever you cast instant or sorcery, it's worse in that regard, right? Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you create a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. And then whenever you draw your 5th card each turn, You have like Alandra, the Sky Dreamer, and Drakes you control get +X until the end of the turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So that's potentially looking at something like, casting a bunch of cantrip spells, casting a wheel, maybe copying some spells to get like some more, be able to get more draws off of it, and then maybe like going into a wheel so you can have a bunch of cards in your hand and have some really big Drakes. The problem is that it takes some time to build up, and Drake isn't exactly a tribe in Commander that I'm like aware of. So just something to like I guess consider when trying to build around someone like Alandra. But at the end of the day, I think it's a really interesting commander. It's definitely not like a CDH commander, but it's definitely fun.
I love your list because there's 2 cards here that I even noticed when I checked the cards. I even noticed there was a new Mystics at all. Like, genuinely did not see a new Mystics at all. It's very awesome Mystics. And the Alandra, I didn't even see her either. I think she's more fitting in the 99 with Talran, I'll be honest, because she's strong, but you're purposely building her if you want to build a worse Tarlan, with like a fair Tarlan in any case. If you want to build like a fair Tarlan, you go with her. But if you want to like pump up your actual deck, you just put her in the 99, and then she could just be a finisher. Just insane. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. When I saw Chris's top 5, I was like, I know these 2 cards are because of the art.
Oh, by the way, the tragic slip is very interesting because I would say like that flavor text, and there's a couple of cards in the anime one specifically. The flavor text is almost very reminiscent of Uncards.
Yes,
it's kind of
like
insane.
like in a goofy line.
Yeah, there was a monkey one where he was like walking up a skyscraper, and there was someone who say, "Oh, don't worry, like we'll be okay." He's like next to like a banana factory or something.
Yeah,
I'm like
what a banana. He's next to a banana processing plant.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that? It's
like nobody panic, we're safe here. He's next to a banana processing plant. It's like, okay, that's out of nowhere, but I freaking love it, honestly.
That's great.